Here with more, Trump attorney who was blocked from viewing the search at Mar-a-Lago, Lindsey Halligan, is with us. Lindsey, thank you for being with us. Let's talk about that day. Let's talk about the FBI arriving. What happened?
Hi, Mr. Hannity. So I arrived around 11 a.m. and there were about 30 to 40 FBI agents that I saw, 5 of which were wearing suits. The rest were in cargo pants, masks, and gloves. And they basically had unfettered access to the property. They refused to talk to me, refused to let me in. All I knew is that they were searching areas 1, 2, and 3, which I understood to be the former president's bedroom, his office, and a storage room. And other than that, we were not allowed to talk to them or go inside at all.
Did you ever get a chance to read the warrant? Did you ever get a copy of it? Did you ever get any other information? Do you know, are you aware of what they took out of Mar-a-Lago?
That's the thing. They had unfettered access to the property. They looked at God knows what in there and did God knows what in there. We have no idea. What the FBI did was an appalling display of abuse of power. All documents requested were previously handed over. President Trump and his team painstakingly reviewed every single document at Mar-a-Lago and gave the government what they requested. If they needed any other documents, they could have just asked. And the warrant was secured under seal. So they tried to get away with concealing this overreach by obtaining a warrant under seal. Nobody knew about it. They knew that President Trump was in Bedminster and hasn't been at Mar-a-Lago for some time. They thought they could sneak in, snoop around without attorneys present in case they walked out with nothing, so nobody would know that they overreached to this degree. And it's unprecedented in United States history. The government seems to be out of control. It's plagued with manipulation, corruption, greed, deceit, and fraud.
And yet the National Archives praised the working relationship that you had back in February. And my understanding is they were there as recently as June, and they were the ones that requested the padlock on one particular door where there was some documents that they could have taken with them that day?
Correct, yes. That was when they came to the property and they went through documents, to my understanding. They requested that a padlock be put on the door, and then they broke through that padlock just the other day. You know, we have a sitting U.S. president whose son has committed a myriad of felonies, a Speaker of the House whose husband drove a car under the influence of alcohol and drugs with a concealed, undisclosed passenger in the car, a secret list of undisclosed powerful people that visited Epstein's Island and did God knows what to underage women, none of whose liberties have been infringed upon like President Trump's and his family's. Simply put, it seems that under the Biden administration, the government conceals what it wants to, the government does what it wants to, and American citizens need to protect their country from its government.
Lindsey, anything else you'd want the American people to know? You were there that day. What should they know? Anything else?
Well, if we're thinking about the future, I'd like to just say that the Biden administration has united Americans against its administration. And it has this incident has ironically created bipartisanship on this issue, because no American, whether Democrat or Republican, wants an overreaching Department of Justice. We even see Andrew Cuomo and Andrew Yang speaking out about this. The silence of the Biden administration and the FBI is deafening. Americans are listening and watching.
All right. We really appreciate your time. Lindsey Halligan, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.